Hey guys, my name is Wits. Now that Invasion has a public options, it's a little bit different than doing it solo. If you want to learn how to do it solo, I have a guide about that. You can check it out and then it will definitely help make it easier for you when you are in a group setting, especially if this is your first time. Anyway, there are 3 types of invasions you will encounter. So, in no particular order, the first type of invasion I'm going to talk about, I call it artificial brains. You will face the Legion of Immortality enemy types. It is pretty straightforward. You just kill enemies, pick up their brain cells, and drop it in a machine. Once the machine is at 100%, you will be able to shoot the ABC door and proceed to the next area. You will do that for the first 2 areas. And the third area will be the boss room. The boss is immune, so you will have to kill enemies, pick up their brain cells, and shoot the panel that is connected to the boss. That will take the immunity shield off, then you will be able to damage the boss. If you don't kill the boss in one phase for whatever reason, then you have to repeat the process until the boss is dead. The second type of invasion that I am going to talk about is the Ancient Arcade invasion. You will face the Legion of Darkness enemy types. This is the first type of invasion you encountered in the introduction of invasions. In the public version, nothing really changes that much besides it being easier with more people. So, to start it, it's easier to have one person standing on the platform that is hanging in the air. The other players on the ground need to pay attention to see what symbols are on the door and match them with symbols on the ground. Then, each player on the ground can stand on a plate. That will open the door to the next area. If it's only 3 people, you just need to adjust accordingly. You will have to go through the same process for the first 2 rooms. As a side note, certain enemies, if they stand on the plate you already activated, that will deactivate the plate and you have to reactivate it. I have only seen that happen once in the public version, but it's something that you need to keep in mind. In any case, the third room is the boss room, and it is a little different, mechanics-wise that is. The boss has a shield that you need to shoot. Therefore, you need to identify the color of the boss's shield and stand on one of the plates on the ground that matches the boss's shield. That is in order to remove the shield. Once the shield is off, you can do damage to the boss. If you don't kill the boss in one phase, repeat the process until you kill the boss. Lastly, the third type of invasion I am going to talk about is the drones invasion. You will face the Order of Truth types of enemies. I left this one for last because it can be a little bit tricky in the public version, especially for people doing it the first time. Anyway, to start it, players need to shoot tumors from pillars to reveal a symbol from each pillar. The symbols are from top to bottom. There are 4 pillars scattered around the room with a different symbol on each pillar. There are also 4 drones going around the room with symbols from top to bottom. You need to match the symbols from the pillars with the 4 symbols in one of the drones. There is only one right answer. Once you find the right drone with the right 4 symbols, you can interact with that drone. This will drop a special gun that you need to use to open the door. The only tricky part is that there is a timer to get this done, and there is most likely no communication in public lobbies. So, when you interact with the drone, all 4 players should be together. I say should because it's not mandatory, but any player that is outside the drone area when someone interacts with the right drone will go down. D, B, and O. Dead but not out. If that happens, most likely it will, they need to be revived because they can't abandon and they can't revive themselves. So Tips number 1 for all players. Always pay attention to the revealed symbols and try to memorize them when looking for the right drone. In my experience, you only need to memorize 2 symbols in the correct order from top to bottom. Or better yet, check to see if there is 1 or 2 players standing together by a drone. That usually indicates they are standing by the right drone and ready to interact. I do know people like to kill enemies and sometimes they lose track of the objective, but there is a timer, and if you don't interact with the drone in time, you will wipe and have to start the area all over. For me, normally I check the timer and try to give people some time just to gather up, but in all honesty, it's better to revive people than having to do the room all over. Some players, as soon as they identify the right drone, they are not going to wait. And I don't blame them because it is what it is. Tips number 2 for all players. If you pick up the gun and ready to open the door, do not stand too close and do not stand too far from the door. The gun only has 6 shots and it requires 2 shots for each eye. If you miss 1 shot, for whatever reason that may be, the door will not open. Therefore, we will have to go through the process all over. That's in order to finish the rest of the eyes. Then we can proceed to the next area. This is not a criticism, but I've seen it happen more than once since the public invasion started. Now, I personally missed shots the first time I had to do this solo. We all have to learn to make things better for everyone. Anyway, just like any other invasion, the first 2 rooms in this invasion have the same mechanics. And the 3rd room is the boss room. The same thing applies when it comes to the drones and team being together when someone interacts with the drone. Once you identify the right drone, pick up the special gun and shoot the boss in order to take the immunity shield off. Then you can damage the boss. Now, the difference in this type of invasion is the boss room can be a little more chaotic, simply because the boss hit very, very hard and they always have some kind of element thrown at you. The element could be chill, toxin, or electric, depends on the boss. For this example, this boss has the chill element, and you will be frozen and can get killed from the frozen element damage. Therefore, I highly recommend you put some sort of elemental resistance in your build. This is simply because this could be the difference between completing the invasion in 2 minutes, 4 minutes, or even 8 or more minutes. For instance, you can see in this gameplay, I do not get frozen because I have chill immunity on. In my experience, and like I mentioned previously, all the invasion bosses, for this type of invasion especially, will have some sort of element they will throw at you. So, you should always be ready for it. Anyway, that is my guide on public invasions. I hope this helps. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.